We're in a live in the drive at 5, another live in the drive at 5, and today we're going to talk about the FOMC decision to keep interest rate at its 4.25 to 4.50 interest rate. So they're not making any moves in terms of interest rate right now. So that might be good for the economy. We're going to see how that works out for Wall Street and the stock market and trading. In addition to that, we're also going to discuss President Donald Trump and what he's currently doing. Donald Trump did a what at the World Economic Forum a few days ago now. He was there and he made an announcement in regards to his presidency, his current presidency as the president of the United States. So he was at the World Economic Forum discussing his plans, some executive orders that he done, and some other things, right? So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the FOMC meeting and what's going on with the labor market. They're saying that the labor market is stable right now. And in regards to consumer spending, and unemployment is low, according to the data, they decided to keep interest rate as what it is right now. So no changes, no up or down, no reducing the interest rate. And that's the Federal Reserve interest rate. That's for like banks and, but once they adjust it, then the banks will adjust it to theirs, and so they follow suit of what the Federal Reserve Bank do. And to come on here, I remember even some speeches that President Donald Trump made. He said that he was trying, I don't know, this President Trump is something else, right? So he's basically saying that he demands that interest rates be lowered according to the Federal Reserve, but he really doesn't have the power to tell them in an executive order or anything like that. He really doesn't have the power to tell the Federal Reserve to lower interest rate, and that's because the Federal Reserve is not a government entity. The Federal Reserve Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell, he does not work for the federal government, even though the name of the entity is Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve is not a government entity. It's not owned by the government. The government really doesn't have any say. They can influence their decisions, but they really don't have any say in terms of interest rate and lowering interest rate, or having the Federal Reserve lower their interest rate. They really don't have any big say in that. So he can't do any executive order against the Federal Reserve telling the Federal Reserve, hey, you got to lower interest rate. Because like I said, the Federal Reserve is not a government entity. In actuality, it's a private entity. Very interesting, right? So the government, the president, really don't have any say-so on what the Federal Reserve say. He can't even fire Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. I keep calling him Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell, Federal Chairman Jerome Powell. He cannot even fire him. He can probably influence him or kind of sway the FOMC, the Federal Open Market Committee. He could probably sway them to do certain things a certain way, but he cannot executive order, or he cannot demand them to do certain things because he's the president. He cannot do that. Once again, the Federal Reserve is not a government entity. It's a private entity, and it's developed by the FOMC, Federal Open Market Committee, with, 13 banks or something like that across the nation. And each Federal Reserve bank has its own chairman that's in charge of that region. So the president really can't, like I said, he can influence them, maybe sway the decision to lower interest rate, but he cannot tell the Federal Reserve, hey, lower interest rate. And in regards to taxes now, we have to see what he's going to be doing with taxes, because he's trying to, at the World Economic Forum in it's in Switzerland, I don't even know how to say the name, but if y'all know what I'm talking about, he's over there in Switzerland at the World Economic Forum, and he made a speech saying that it's the golden era for the United States and that he's going to do a lot of drastic changes. Some of the changes that the past president did, President Joe Biden, some changes that he made, he wants to reserve some of those changes. And in addition to reducing taxes, he want to put tariff taxes on other countries. So if other countries are importing their products to the United States for sale or not made in the United States, he want to tax them. And if other countries are avoiding taxes, what they can do is they can set up their business over here in the United States and they will get a tax break, because he's trying to reduce the income tax from the citizens, so regular citizens don't have to pay as much high income tax as they're currently doing under the current policies. So he's trying to reduce that, and in order to reduce that, he's going to increase tariff taxes on other countries, other companies who are operating outside the United States, but they're based outside of the United States, but they're operating and making revenue within inside the United States. So he's going to start attaching tariffs to those companies and countries who are doing those kind of trades. So that's one way he planned on reducing some taxes. Another thing that President Donald Trump at the World Economic Forum, he was talking like he was in the United States, like he ran Switzerland, or it was the World Economic Forum. I mean, you have people from the United States who are part of the World Economic Forum, but he was acting like the World Economic Forum is the United States Forum, but it really isn't. It's different countries coming together to discuss and create policies, monetary policies, for economical policies for the world. So everybody basically follows suit of what the World Economic Forum is doing. So he kind of went there to make a speech saying that, hey, this is what the United States is on. The United States is on a golden era, and these are some things that he wanted to achieve. And it's crazy because he made the speech and trying to have the interest rate reduced a few days before the FOMC meeting. I think he was trying to influence them in a way, trying to demand them to lower the interest rate. But Chairman Powell, Federal Reserve Chairman Powell, decided, him and the FOMC chairman, I think, is it 8 or 13? I don't even know. I got to do some more research. I got to get my stuff right. But I think it's 13. So he's trying to influence the FOMC to reduce the interest rate, but that didn't happen. That wasn't the case. Like I said, the FOMC really don't have to listen to the President of the United States or any branches of government in terms of their regulations and their policies, because they're a private entity. They're the ones that set forth the policies and the interest rates, monetary policies that will follow in this country in terms of Wall Street, in terms of trading, in terms of being involved with the Bank of what is it? The IMS, the International Settlement. Oh no, the Bank of International, the BIS. So the Bank of International Settlement. So the Federal Reserve is also connected to that, and also to the global, what they call it, the what is the central bank. So the World Central Bank, which will be the IMF, International Monetary Fund. So they keep track of the funding between countries, between entities, between business. So the Federal Reserve are the ones who contain those policies or develop those policies and put forth those policies, making sure those policies going into hand. So that was one thing that happened today. It's big news, but it's not big news according to like the regular media and the regular news outlet. They will discuss it, but they won't go into depth. Because they know a lot of people probably won't be interested in it. It's not, that bleed lead type stuff. Oh, I like that name. I hope I say it right. Is that Neve? So shout outs to Neve. Thank you for being on here. Gene, how you doing? Gene Carlos, thank you for being. Did I say, is it Gene or John? Let me know. I think it's Gene. Gene Carlos, thank you for being on here. OI. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. And I appreciate you. You love the background. Oh yeah, the background. That's the sun setting. Sun setting with the sky. It's cloudy and the sun is setting. So appreciate you. Thanks for saying that you like the background. Appreciate you. I like that name. I hope I'm saying it. Neve. Um, Appreciate you. And so where you tuning in from? Let me know where you tuning in from when you watching it. Yeah, sunsets are so pretty. Sunrise and sunsets, blessings, right? Got to give gratitude that we're able to achieve the blessings and see the blessings of a sunrise and a sunset, right? Oh, okay, good. I said it right. I like that name. That name is cool. Appreciate you being on here. Appreciate everybody who's on here. Let me know what you guys think about the interest rate not changing and the current policies from Chairman Jerome Powell, in addition to the current speeches that President Donald Trump is making and what he has to say in regards to the country and what he has for the country. MHM, I don't know, Tyson. Neve, thank you. Appreciate you for subscribing. I appreciate that very much. Make sure you hit that like button too while you're at it. Thank you so much. I still don't know where you're tuning in from. I like to know I like to know where people are tuning in from when they come on the live, because it's a blessing to be connecting with other people from other places, other countries, other regions. It's just a blessing, you know, to connect with you guys. So appreciate everybody that's on here. Thank you all for giving your time to this live, because you know your time is very valuable asset. So appreciate you. Hey, did you vote for Trump? You know what's very interesting? I really didn't vote this time around because I got more hip to the idea of the electoral votes and how the presidency is really chosen, the president chosen by electoral votes from the states. So really and truly, the popular vote really don't count. So this year around, I really didn't vote. I didn't really vote for anybody, but I do watch each policies while the debates was going on, each policies during the campaign. I watched what they have in stores for the country. So I'm not really too big on voting this year, and sorry if I, messed it up or whatever, but I don't, like I told my family, I don't think, especially the state that I'm at, it doesn't really matter which way I vote, because the electoral college is gonna vote this way anyways, no matter what. So definitely don't gotta watch the policies if you vote for them, if you didn't vote. And you have to watch the policies and the executive orders and what's put forth to come our way. So we have to be on point with that. So appreciate everybody that's coming on here. Neve, I just like that name. That name's so tough. Mary Naylor, appreciate you. Where I'm at, I'm in Connecticut right now, Hartford, Connecticut. And yeah, well, I live in Connecticut. So my state is typically a Democratic state. So the electoral college, am I saying that right? Electoral college, or something like the electoral college, basically vote for Democrats in my state. So it really didn't matter which way I vote, because my state was going to be voting Democrat no matter which way I vote. Even if I voted Democrat, it still would have went whichever way it went. So it's based off the electoral college. The way you can really sway those electoral colleges is getting more involved with politics, getting involved with like the lobbyists and the other things that's going on that influence the policies that are set forth in like Congress or in the presidency or even in the Supreme Court. You have to look at that. Neve said, I sadly have to go, but I'll be back soon. All right, Neve, I appreciate you being on here. Thank you for your subscribing, and shout out to everybody in Arizona. Oh, I would love to see the sunset in Arizona. I'm gonna make my way to Arizona sooner or later. Hopefully more sooner. I like how Arizona looks, and I saw some land down in Arizona that's not a bad look. So appreciate you for being on here, Neve. Go ahead and take care of what you gotta take care, and I'll see you next time. I come on live almost every day, especially around the time of 5 o'clock. So appreciate everybody that's on here. Hope you got some value out of here. Check out the FOMC committee and what they have going on, in addition to what the policies that the president is putting forth, in addition to paying attention to your own economy and things around you and policies, all right? I'm in my car because I usually call this the live drive at 5. It usually be a live drive at 5. So while I'm leaving work, I usually come on here live and I drive and I discuss current events, trending topics, politics, personal development, economics, mental health and wellness, And what else I discuss? Mental health and wellness. And those are usually the topics that I discuss. Hey, how you doing, Debbie? Thank you for being on here. Appreciate you being on here. And I'm also in my car because I was actually driving to pick up my son, and now I'm at the location. It's time for me to go pick him up. So I'm gonna walk with you guys for a little bit while I go get him. And if there's any question or concern or any thoughts about what we discussed, I would like to, chime in the comments, or you can chime in the comments before I get off of here. So definitely appreciate everybody who is on here. You see that sky? Sky look nice, right? See the background, the sky? Blessing, right? Be grateful for the blessing that we get to experience. But definitely want to thank everybody for being on here. The interest rates will remain the same at what it is right now. And like I said, Donald Trump is going full for. I haven't seen a president do things like that. I don't even think he did stuff like this in his first term. But thank you, everybody, for being on here. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it. And go ahead and be safe. And take care of your mental health. Take care of each other. And do what you got to do. I'll talk to you next time.